And welcome back, everybody. Just to introduce my new old vise, which I discovered in my dreams last night that I actually still had a vise downstairs. It was my wife's for her woodworking projects, but it has been cajoled into working for a stable base for building this kit. So, anyway, having said all of that, we are going to proceed now with step 46 and 47, which is starting to get into some of the more decorative pieces. So with that, we shall start with this. It's like a gear clamp, a nut, and quite simply it's spinning this nut. And to there. Not sure how tight it needs to be, but that seems to be working out well. That would be step 46. Now and then we get a very short step. And now we're on to step 47, which is a dial that's going to go on somewhere. I've seen it in the videos, so I know it's going to go somewhere. I'm going to take from the back side, take these two screws, attach this piece, the 7mm nut that we're using as a spacer, and one of these tiny little knurled knobby things. And again, I'm just utterly convinced that this came from some form of electric train set. However, there we go. A washer, and this cute little knurl piece. And I would say, tighten it up just a bit, it's super tight. Not tight enough that we want it to. Voila. Now we have the detail. We've got some fine bushings. Alrighty. Looks like we've got this step beat, so I'll be back in just a couple. And we're back, folks. We'll do combining 48 and 49. Again, we'll be putting more parts on this dial. So we'll start with our bolt, and it's going to go through one of these guys, a washer, and then through the long side of this, and with another washer on the other side. Like so, and it would appear that this is going to go through here like so. And it's kind of threaded in through there, but a bit of a tight fit, but there's no threads on that, so just a matter of getting it through. There we go. And again, we'll mount this the same way as we did the other. 7mm nut as a washer. And this very cute knurled nut. That's the main contributor. I suspect this has to be straight. We'll tighten it up a little bit and then we'll get the final orientation as we get it snug. This appears to be correct. I've got just a tad more. And then we just bring it back. There we go. And looks like we've created a space to mount our next step. And that is going to involve this extremely detailed crown piece. And it requires a washer in the middle. First of all, we'll take our nut, screw. Let's put that in here so that this fellow is going to fit into here. Like so. And so we have now created what appears to be a very ornate dial. And we'll just be back in 1 minute for the next step. Stand by. Right, so we get to use our handy third hand here, which I'm most grateful for, to attach. Take this washer off before it falls off. To attach our latest facing it. All right. I will get this thing started a bit more. A little bit easier to a bit more. Yet, interesting. Should get in close. So. Just too much hit. So this piece here has to line up. So with the instructions, this is going to set the level for this. It just has to drop down a bit more. So if that's where this is going, just get a little bit higher. And so I believe that's right. Okay, so now at this point, I can start cinching this up a little bit. Also, this needs to go this way a bit. Here we go. It does look straight-ish. More or less where they wanted it. I'm guessing that I'll be able to do some adjustments once we get to the next step. However, I think I'm going to call it a day. But before we do that, let's just see how this bad boy works when it's solid. appears to be very, very, very soft. Alrighty, and with that, we'll bid you a fair adieu and we'll see you in the next video.